Welcome back to my channel. So during this video, we're going to be continuing using the eyeshadow palettes in my Shop My Stash basket. And today we're going to be using the Huda Beauty's Desert Dusk palette. This is what the palette looks like. And this is the color scheme. I don't know what I'm going to do. I always say that because I don't know. But we're going to go ahead and dive in anyways. So I'm going to zoom you guys in a little bit closer so we can see what we are doing this morning. So my eyes are already primed. I primed them with my P. Louise base in the shade 2 Rumor. So let's get this thing rolling. So we're going to take the MAC 224 brush. It's just this fluffy brush. We're going to take the shade. Let's take the shade Eden. Sorry. Eden. And that's this matte shade, the fourth shade on the top row. We're going to take that shade and pop it all into our, let's go out of just a little bit because I get out of frame trying to blend these shadows and stuff. So we're going to take that shade on the blending brush and we're just going to place it in our crease area and then we'll blend it. Wait a minute, these eyes are not smooth yet. So we're going to make sure this base is like smooth and does not have these creases. Okay, so now it's ready. So again, we're going to take this shade and I'm trying to just like lightly fluff. Instead of placing this morning, I'm lightly fluffing it and blending it into the crease. And I did not set this base, so it's still tacky. But I want to go ahead and start blending and fluffing this morning without packing and placing. And so now I'm still doing the same thing. And now it's kind of building a little bit where I can start actually blending the shade. And blending some more. I'm going windshield wiper motions and circular motions. And the shade is Amber. I didn't say the name, but it's Amber. And I'm just placing a little bit more directly into that crease area and blowing it outwards. That's a beautiful shade. So we'll do the same thing for the other eye. Just start lightly blending. And I lightly do this before I build it up, doing this more in during this tutorial. Because normally I just pack it and blend it. So we're going to do the same thing, just kind of place it. And I'm lightly blending in circular motions towards my inner corner of my eye. Then I'll go backwards with what's left and do the same thing. Okay. Sorry. Put a little more on the brush. Do the same thing again. Just continue to go back and forth until you can just start blending it so it does not separate on the wet base. Doing it again and blending. And you can tell when it starts to stick to it because it gets more buildable and you can blend a little bit more. So we're going to just do that. And I like to lift my eye up when I'm doing my circular motions in my crease. That way the shadow is not just sitting right in my crease. It's actually really blended. And we're going to do the same thing again. Just continue to blend and blend outwards. This is a pretty shade though. Nice transition shade. So now we're going to add a little bit more to the other eye. Lift that eye up and blend right in that crease and outwards. And blend. So take a little bit more just to make sure it's placed right in that crease. So now we're going to take the Morphe 505 M505 brush, and this more denser, fluffy brush. We're going to take that same shade, and it's going to give you a little more payoff, and put it directly in the crease, like directly in the crease. And I'm doing this to build up that color right in my crease area, because the first brush was more fluffier, so it did not give off a more deeper payoff than this brush, because it's more denser, but it's still a fluffy brush. And what I'm doing now is just blending the edges of what's in the crease, and going up a little bit above the crease to blend it as well. That's coming together really pretty. So we're gonna go in with, I'm trying to keep it a little simple this morning. You know what? Let's go back in with the MAC brush. So I'm just gonna take my little towel and just fluff it off what's on here, and then we're gonna take the shade. Let's do Eden, which is the third shade on the top row. Is that a matte shade? Yeah, it's a matte shade. And we're going to take it on the brush, and we're going to place it right above what's in the crease area, so we can transition that shade in with this lighter shade. And I'm taking the shadow on the side of the fluffy brush and blending it. What that is. Something. And the same thing for the other eye. You're going to put it on the side of the brush and just blend right over that crease area, a little bit above it, so you can get those two shades to blend together like really, really well. So you can kind of soften it going up towards your brow bone. So now we're going to go in with the shade, the same brush. We're going to use Desert Sand is the very first matte shade, like a bone type shade. And we're going to take that on the same brush on the side, and we're going to place it under that brow bone area to set the concealer where I carved out my brows, so it does not move around. I'm going to take a little bit more. The same thing for the other eye. You want to just pack it. You don't want to blend yet, because it's still, like I said, it's a tacky base. Take a little bit more, and you want to make sure you set it like really, really good. And this also gives it that highlighting effect. If you don't want to use like shimmer shades, if you're into like kind of lightening a little bit, and if you don't want to use a highlighter or a shimmer shade that's lighter in some cases, because sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I also like to make sure that area is like bright a little bit. And it is depending on the type of look you're doing. So I'm going to go in a little bit more. I just have to make sure it's really, really set. Set really good. Really, really set. I just be saying stuff. So now we're going to go back in with Eden on the side of the brush again, and blend right above that crease area once again, so we can make sure the two shades are blended together. Take a little bit more. The same thing back in this, above this crease area. So now we're going to go back in with the Morphe brush, back in with our deeper shade, because we want to deepen up that crease area again. Just a little bit, and you're going to go right in the crease. Directly in the crease. And the same thing for this eye. Same thing one last time. Make sure it's placed like really, really good in your crease. So now we're going to blend up just a little bit lightly, not a lot. And I think that should do it. Now I think I want to, I don't know what kind of shade I want to put on my lid. Let's do a pigment. How about that? Well, I'm not going to do that. I always do this, but I'm not going to do that. Let's do the shade. Clearly, that's not a, these things light. Let's see. I don't want to do that one, no. Don't want that one either. That's a nice one. Let's just, I don't want to do either one of these shades on my lid. Let's go in with a J Cat Beauty pigment. You can't go wrong with a pigment. So what we're going to do is just go ahead and blend the rest of these edges all over our lid. That's pretty. You know what? I'm not going to add a pigment. I'm going to leave it like this. So what I want to do then, I'm not going to add any more, I'm not going to add pigment, but I'm going to add the shade Blazing. And we're going to use this same fluffy brush. And we're going to pack this on our lid area. Let's see how that looks. I don't know, but we're going to see. Let's pack a little more. That's actually not bad. So we're packing it on the side of the brush and just packing it on the lid. The entire lid area up into the crease. I like that. So I never know what I'm going to come up with. And the same thing for this eye. It's a nice matte, fallish, like really fallish pumpkin spice. Maybe that's what I'll name it. Pumpkin spice type of look. Like some fall leaves or something. When they be brown and orange and a mixture. That's what it looks like. So now we're going to just blend. This brush is shedding. That's what it is. I've had this brush for years. So we're just going to continue to blend to make sure everything is seamless. I do like this. Yes. I love when I just sit down and don't know what I'm going to do. And it just comes together. Now watch I screw something up on my base. Just packing a little bit more. Just to make sure it sits really well before I apply my liner and stuff. Okay, I think that should do it. So now we're going to go back in with our MAC 224 brush and just make sure everything is blended together. All right. So this is the eyeshadow look. Everything blended like super pretty together, like really good together. So we're going to do the norm, take our white. I already have micellar water on it, and I just use my simple micellar water. I love this stuff because I have like very sensitive eyes, and it is like the bomb for me, like the bomb, because my eyes get irritated really fast. And I'm liking this eye look. It was like really simple and easy to do, so I like that. Okay, so I think everything is blended really good. So I'm just taking my MAC brush again just to make sure before we go off camera. I'm loving it. Let's just take a little bit more of amber and just pop it directly in the crease again so we can have a little more depthness to it before we go off camera. We're going to place it right back in that crease a little bit above, because I do want that shade to pop. Okay, so yeah, especially with that more orange shade we just placed on the lid. You want to make sure those two shades are different and there's more dimension in your crease, especially with that lid being on the deeper side, deeper tone. So we're just blending. That's why I love zooming in when I'm filming, because I can really see, especially when you're talking about these eye looks. Because I'm a sucker for eyeshadow palettes. That's the favorite part of my collection, is eyeshadow palettes. My favorite. I'm gonna take this Echoes 2 brush because it's flat, and I want to just apply a little bit more of this orange shade, blazing, on the lid a little bit more, and I place it on the flat side just so it can pop just a little bit more. Yep. It's like this real, like I said, pumpkin spice. That's what we're gonna name this, the pumpkin spice. Now take our MAC brush and blend again. And make sure everything is blended well together. I love it. I'll wipe one more time before we go off. And it gives you that crisp, clean look around the shadows. This is beautiful. I love it. So we're going to go back off camera, finish the rest of my face, and I'll be back to show you guys my final look. See you guys in a bit. So welcome back. This is the final look. Everything turned out beautiful. I'm really impressed with today's look, because yesterday's look did not cut it for me. To finish this look, I went ahead, went back in with the Huda Beauty. I actually applied shadows on my lower lash line this morning, which I normally don't do a lot when I'm going to work because I'm in a rush. But I went ahead and applied Saffron, which is the matte shade, the burgundy matte shade, maroonish type shade, next to the last shade in the palette. And I applied that on my lower lash line. And then I went in with the shade next to it, Turkish Delight. And I applied that from the inner corner all the way to like the center. And it's kind of like dragging too far out there, but that's okay. Closer to the center of my lower lash line. So that's all I do with the eyeshadows. I did not add any more on my eyelid. But for the rest of my face, for my foundation this morning, I combined the ColourPop Total Fresh in the shade 85 Neutral. And I used the CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous in the shade Golden Tan. So I do like how it performed together this morning, because a lot of times I'm always mixing my foundations to get that perfect shade for me, because I'm a neutral tone, but I do like more of a little bit of golden, but not a whole lot of golden. So the rest of my face, I went ahead and used my Huda Beauty's highlighting palette, and I used both of the shades at the top today, which is Fiji and Seychelles. I don't know. But these two gold shades at the top, I combine them and bronze my above my cheekbone area, my nose, my cupid's bow, and a little bit on my forehead. So the last thing I did was for my lips today, I used the Glam Light gloss in Pecan Pie, and it's this nudie, pretty nudie pink type shade, with the lip liner Lorac in Duchess. So that is all I did to complete this look. Like I said, I love how it turned out. It's really nice and pretty today. Like really nice and pretty today. I love it. And then I sprayed with my Urban Decay All-Nighter spray. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I enjoyed it. It was really simple. It was really easy. Did not take a whole lot of time to do this morning, which is perfect for me. But I do love how it turned out nice, beautiful. This is like a everyday matte look. It was really, really easy, like really, really easy. So if you guys have this palette, let me know your thoughts on it. Let me know how it worked for you. But I will say I did not use the shimmers. I was kind of hesitant during the video. I wanted to use a pigment. I wanted to shimmer my eyes out because in my opinion, a lot of these shimmer shades have gotten chalky. So maybe I'm going to try them next time when I'm not in a rush and have to go to work and see if the glitter glue or some type of medium mixing or something I can do to get them to perform, because I didn't want to try it and experiment and I don't have to go to work. Oh, this gel. I need to wash my hair. Excuse it, you all. But okay. So I'm going to move on so I can move out the door. So if you like my content, if you like what I post, then comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. Become a part of my family here on my YouTube platform. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you in my next one. Goodbye.